Do Republicans also, like Republican voters in general, like, do they just not have any self-interest at all? Are they just bots? Like, I know I've been on the Democrats quite a bit, and I don't have a lot of smoke for the voters in general. I usually try to share, or I usually try to focus my animosity to those in positions of power, right? That's on principle, what I believe. You know, be kind to people, be ruthless to systems. But there is a point where I'm just like, damn, man. Like, if you're a Republican voter, if you're like a reliable Republican Party voter, do you just not realize what's going on? You're sitting in the cuck chair, man. This guy's pissing in your face, telling you it's raining, and you're just sitting there and taking it because you're thinking, well, at least the other guys are getting more piss in their face than I am. You know, I'm getting a little bit of dribble. They're getting pissed on even harder. So, hell yeah, brother. I just don't get it. Like, how do you not revolt? It kind of feels like the liberal base has more smoke for the institutional Democratic Party than the MAGA base has for what the Republican Party has become. I guess because Trump is supposed to be like the logical conclusion of the Tea Party movement. So they think this is their populist moment. But if the populist moment comes and all you are experiencing as a Republican voter, as a MAGA supporter, as a Trump loyalist is no answers for affordability and a billionaire that is so decadent that his behavior would look silly if you read it in a book or if you saw it in a movie, like gold-plated, gaudy-ass White House refurbs and revamps while his own base of support is starving. And you just don't even turn around and go, man, maybe I made the wrong decision here. Like, there's not a single moment where you just go, yeah, I think this guy sucks. Promises made, promises not kept. What are we doing? What are we doing? It makes no damn sense. That's the thing. If they admit they were wrong, then the libs were right. This is historic levels of in your face abundance for the super wealthy and starvation for the super poor. Okay? This is untenable. At least throughout history, this has been unsustainable, famously. Okay? This has led to some relatively violent moments of instability. Okay? Make fun of this tactic all you want, but it's literally worked for him for the last 10 years. You, I win, you lose, you're gay is actually a really good strategy when everyone is stupid and cruel. Yeah, Trump officials say that there's no affordability crisis. They're trying to do the vibe session. There are still people, and maybe they do it because they get paid to, so maybe it's moot, that approach the Trump machine with their mindset of like, okay, here's how we get them. And you get them, and he says you didn't get me. In fact, you lose, and it works every time. And he has fucked for decades. This is a new behavior of Trump, and that's the kicker. Yeah, I mean, look, this is why part of my argument revolves around criticizing the Democrats, because if they were a serious party, if they were a competent opposition party, right, then they could at least like take advantage of this weakness. They could take advantage of this lack of interest in like solving some of these crises that Donald Trump won on, right? Affordability being the key one. But they're just not remotely invested in having a clear-cut vision for a better future and how they are going to do right by the voters, and or even like showing how Donald Trump has actually lied, right? And that to me is so strange. It just doesn't make any sense. Also, what is happening here? Uh-oh. Hello? Am I still live? Can you guys still see me? I'm losing my my Chatterino is getting busted. It's like disconnecting and reconnecting. Uh-oh. Are frames dropping? What the heliante? You're good, we see you? Okay, it's just Chatterino then, huh? No F's on our side. Okay. All right, we're back. I mean, Chatterino's back. I don't know what happened. There was like a brief, he got busted for a second. I'm moored with looking good. Okay. I don't know if you noticed, but the light behind you is effing. Yes, it's a it's an issue I am aware of, but I can't fix it for now. So, like, I don't know how much it will carry you to simply repeat over and over again the notion that, things are not so great for me. I can't afford basic needs. Rent is constantly increasing and is getting real bad. But at least there's a libtard out there that's getting owned, Like, I don't know how much that can carry you, how far will that carry you? Sounds good to me, Law. Like, that level of, I don't know how you can have that level of spite for your fellow Americans. That mentality is ridiculous. Yeah, but it's a driving factor. It is at the heart of Trump's consistent and reliable base of support. Oh, at least like trans people are no longer able to compete in athletic endeavors. Oh, at least like undocumented migrants are being ripped away from their families, right? Like, oh, there's a unlimited cruelty to people that I've been told are my real enemies. So it's fine. Somewhere out there, there is a lib getting owned. I mean, is it worth it? Is that level of animosity and anger for those who have literally the same exact interests as you, your neighbors that go through the same financial struggles, the same financial hardships? Is it worth it to just brand them as the enemy? As a guy like this is just robbing you blind and laughing about it behind closed doors and sometimes on camera. This is what I asked the Republicans who were just like I want to understand, if you are pro MAGA at this point and you're a regular ass dude, you're not like a millionaire, you're not a billionaire, right? And you're not like some Christian nationalist who believes falsely that Trump is going to bring about a positive change for you by implementing some kind of Christian Sharia, because that's not going to help you in the long run anyway. But like, at least in the interim, you have falsely believed that he's going to do that, and that's a good thing, right? But if you're none of those guys, if you're just like a regular, mechanic, and you're having a hard time, you have welfare, right? To a certain degree, you got some needs that are not being met. You have a hard time paying rent. You're terrified of having to go to the doctor because you're going to be saddled with medical debt, right? And you're just kind of floating around, looking at TikTok clips, on the Libs compilations and whatnot. And you voted for Donald Trump because you thought he had an affirmative vision, right? He had a vision for changing this country in a direction that you thought was going to be good. You were led to believe that if all of the, you're also Hispanic, let's say you're a Hispanic male, but all the other Hispanic men, the bad ones, will get deported, right? And you start seeing that happen, and it doesn't fix your financial predicament, right? You hate trans people. Let's say you think they're weird, you think they're gross, you think they're strange, you think they're like faking being trans, and that's in order to like win the middle school swim meet or something, or the high school swim meet, which is like an insane thing. But let's say you were led to believe that, right? And then Trump comes out and he's like, I've banned trans athletes, right? I've banned them from the NCAA. And you're like, hell yeah, sir. Thank God you did that. But your financial situation didn't change. As a matter of fact, it got worse. What do you do in that situation, right? What do you do? Like, I want to understand the mentality. And for the record, I saw this tweet as well. Someone just sent it to me and said, that's the guy. You're describing the guy. His name is Some Welder on Twitter. Irreverent sage, business owner, aviator, and dog stand. Not on your team. Patrick Henry was right. CV Passam Parabellum. Okay? And he goes, my health insurance just went up another $500 a month for the missus and me. $39,733 now for the year. Your SNAP, your EBT, and your Obamacare subsidies. I wasn't put on this earth to pay your bills. Brother, do you not know what the Democrats were trying to do? Like, I shit on them all the time, right? Like, I get mad at the Democrats all the time, but like, They were literally trying to avoid that thing. They were trying to avoid this happening to you. The people that are doing that to you is the Republican Party, the people that you voted for. How can you experience the problem that these guys are seeking to solve, seeking to address, at least in the interim? Because I think, like, if I talk to this guy, I could be like, dude, you want free healthcare, right? Like, you don't want to pay 39 grand. You're not going to be taxed $39,000 if we have Medicare for all. Your tax liability is going to be lower than this. Okay? Your tax liability is going to be lower than this. It's going to be lower than $39,000 that you pay for in premiums, and you don't have any additional surprise billing in the aftermath of all of this. I mean, this blows my mind. Like, how do you live in this world? How can you not understand who is hurting you? And then you got people saying, I thought you were a welder and not some whiny little bitch. Be a man and pull yourself up by your bootstraps, bitch. That would be a lot easier to accomplish if I didn't have useless losers like you hanging off my bootstraps. Pay for your own trash. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, boomer. I already did that, renter. It's a shame you lack all empathy and compassion. You're a clear sign of exactly what's wrong in this country today. What does stealing the fruits of my labor at the point of a gun and redistributing them to others have to do with empathy and compassion? Like, this guy doesn't understand. He goes, your Obamacare subsidies, you moron. What do you mean your Obamacare subsidies? That's you. That's for you. I lived almost all my life in rural area in Eastern Europe. What you have to understand is that people got used to being poor. They don't have hope of getting better, but the immediate hate that they have, they want to get resolved no matter what. Your healthcare is going up because your subsidies are going away, you idiot. I don't get subsidies and I never have. R word. You have to force these guys to have nice things. I'm with you. Don't tell these assholes what you're legislating. Just implement it against their will. At a certain point, you do have to move beyond it. You know? At a certain point, you do have to move beyond the notion that, like, that guy's opinion matters. It doesn't, okay? He's going to sit there and suck it up, okay? You are going to advance the wishes of the broadest majority of voters. Okay, you're going to give them health care, and he's just going to sit there and complain for like the first year or so and probably quietly recognize that things have gotten much better. That's it. You just have to force free health care on people like that. I don't think there's any way of snapping this guy out of his like angry, drunken stupor here. His position is so untenable, you know? It just does not make any sense. I could not believe it. I could not believe this take, man, when I saw this. Zoe Rose Bryant talks about, I truly just cannot fathom why anyone would give a flying about this. How does the sex marker on my passport affect anybody but me? We're on the verge of a recession. Families can't afford groceries, and people are losing healthcare left and right, and this is your focus. Yeah. The Supreme Court has allowed the Trump administration to block transgender and non-binary people from choosing passport sex markers that align with their gender identity. Who is this for? Like, at a certain point, you have to recognize. At a certain point, you have to recognize that your shit is not all right. It's not good. It's not good at all. And it's getting worse. And it's because of your hyper investment in this like dumb, nonsensical bullshit that doesn't touch you at all, that, you know, you kind of have to focus your priorities on things that actually matter. Yeah, there's also this. The U.S. Trump administration is reportedly working on 15-year car loans. U.S. President Donald Trump also posted yesterday regarding allowing 50-year mortgages, which is unironically the whole you will own nothing and be happy. Like, this man is the World Economic Forum guy. It turns out, as a neoliberal shill himself, it turns out the billionaire guy has the exact same opinions as the other billionaire guys. Like, how is this any different than the are you ready for the new world order style attitude that these people used to hate? This is it, right? I mean, this is the you will eat the bugs, you will own nothing, and you will be happy. This is it. But, you know, like, people think, people are so heavily propagandized against that they just unironically think like everyone else is having a much tougher go at it. And that they're, in America, they're in the wealthiest nation on the planet. Like they're doing fantastic. It's the greatest nation on the planet. And it's like, and then you see like this, 70% of China's millennials are homeowners. How does that not piss you off? That's from 2017. I think the fact that these people exist makes perfect sense, to be honest. Trump has given his base just enough fuel with his relentless anti-immigrant agenda, combined with the culture war he's implementing. There's a reason why Trump won with deport everyone. They're eating the cats and dogs, and I literally don't have a plan for healthcare. It's the culture war. No, I know. And it is imperative upon the left position party in this country, the opposition party in this country, to actively move people's attention back to the material, right? To actually center the working class, to be unafraid to call things out like this. And you never actually hear that. You never actually hear that from the Democrats, unfortunately. At most, they will offer a little bit of lip service to like incremental gains. And that's the reason why they keep losing. It's like, how do we still let these animals win any power in this country, man? In PPP terms, China just surpassed the U.S. years ago. In nominal terms, its GDP is around 80% of the U.S., but growing faster. More importantly, China leads the world in EVs, solar, shipbuilding, drones, AI hardware, steel, highways, railways, consumer electronics, dams, nuclear power, and increasingly semiconductors, the foundational physical technologies that actually make societies better. China's mastery of physical infrastructure means that cooperation and integration with the Chinese supply chain is the most practical path towards development for most countries. It's a no-brainer. Yeah. Democratic cowardice is a big part of the party's brand problem, by the way. A YouGov poll from February found most voters see Republicans as bold and aggressive, while Dems are perceived as sluggish, timid, and cowardly. People don't believe that Dems will fight for them. And why should they? Why should they? Why should they? They're right. For every Summer Lee, Congresswoman that I interviewed in the Capitol before coming to China, there are 10 Chuck Schumers, old, decrepit, far too comfortable in their seat of power, far too invested in a world that doesn't exist anymore, a political game that has never really existed. They are just as delusional, if not more delusional, about the material realities, in spite of their, liberal safeguarding status, as the anarchist who believes that there will be a revolution tomorrow, as the Marxist-Leninist vanguardist who believes that there is no necessity to propagandize to the working class, there's no necessity to bring up class consciousness in this country, and that we could foment socialist revolution tomorrow if it wasn't for the Democratic Party actively stopping it. Okay? That's it. They are just as oblivious to the needs of the working class or where they're at as the left comms out there.